Good morning. Good morning to those of you here in Unity Hall. And when I came down the hall, there were 23 souls, 23 households in the online pews. Good morning to all of you. We're waving already. You're kind of jumping the gun, but we'll wave to you again momentarily. Welcome on this first New Year's Day of the Lunar New Year, the year of the rabbit. And I have the years for whom that applies. If you were born in 1951, raise your hand. Oh, we got quite a few here. Fantastic. 1963. 1975. Emily. 1987. Lexi. 1999. 2011. 2011, Charlie? Oh my goodness. You know, my placemat only went back as far as 1951. Truth be told. 1939. 1930. Do we have a 1939? Ed Walker. Thank you. Thank you. It is a joyful day for just about half of the world's population. And we join with that joy. We join with that forward-looking anticipation that this will be a good year. We have our lucky bamboo on our chancel. We have our lucky envelopes, leases, that you'll hear more about soon. And we have our own joy, the heart that we bring into the sanctuary every Sunday morning when we gather, as well as the sorrow, the anxiety, the depression, the joy, and the love wraps around it all. And so welcome to All Souls, where all souls are welcome. You are joyfully, so joyfully called to worship. I invite you here in the hall to rise in body and or in spirit, and we will join our voices in singing the Fire of Commitment. I'm so happy we'll have some drum on this. It needs drum, so let us join together. beautiful, so beautiful. Thank you for singing that so beautifully together. Bill, keep it going. It's so gorgeous. Keep it going. We pass the peace as we begin, and first ask who among us this morning may be here for the first time. I invite you to raise your hand so that we may welcome you. We see you back here. Welcome. Erica, look to your right. Erica Harger, new person, right next door to you. There you go. Welcome. I see you're with Lilith, right? Yes, welcome, welcome. Those of you in the online pews, if you are here for the first time, please say so in the chat so that we may welcome you there as well. We're going to stick with bumping elbows, so let us pass each other the peace. Peace be with you all. Peace be with you. Susan Borgi is the chair of the Stewardship Committee. She and her colleagues have been hard at work. You'll hear more of that momentarily. But she will also have the honor of lighting our chalice while all of us speak these words. We come to this time and this place to renew our faith in the holiness, goodness, and beauty of life, to find the way of the open mind and full heart, to rekindle the flame of memory and hope, to reclaim the vision of an earth made fair, with all her people one. And each week we light a peace candle and hold in our hearts a place, a people, an issue that needs our attention and care. And on this 50th anniversary of the passage of Roe v. Wade, revoked, as you all well know, in June of last year, we lit our candle for women and all of those who are capable of becoming pregnant in our hearts in this very difficult time in so many places where reproductive health care is just not available. So may the tide turn, and may we set our hearts and minds ablaze, as the hymn says, to shift those waters. Amen. I'm going to grab my water. Go ahead.
Good morning. I'd like to invite all the children and youth to come forward for a story. And it so happens that this is the Chinese New Year, the Lunar New Year.
I did a whole thing on this, but you were late.
Oh, because I didn't get into Unity Hall for the hymn. I don't know that Carolyn already explained this. So our story, of course, is related to the Chinese New Year, but also to social justice that we're going to be talking about in faith formation. Sam could hardly wait to get going. It was time to go to Chinatown for New Year's Day. Sam thought about sweet oranges and lucky money, crisp dollar bills tucked in small red envelopes called leases. Sam's grandparents gave him leases every New Year. Sam counted out $4. Boy, did he feel rich. His parents said this year he could spend his lucky money his way.
Sam, his mother called. It's time to go shopping. Hurry, so we don't miss the lion.
Coming! The streets hummed with the thump of drums and the clang of cymbals. There were so many people crowded around the overflowing vegetable bins that Sam had to look out for elbows.
Right next to the vegetable stand were two huge red paper mounds. Sam kicked the piles and felt his foot land on something strange. Yeah! Someone cried out in pain. Startled, Sam looked up to find an old man sitting against the wall. The stranger was rubbing his bare foot.
Bare feet in winter, Sam thought. Where are his shoes? Sam stared at the man's dirty clothes as he backed away.
Sam was glad to follow his mother. In the bakery, the smell of sweet egg tarts and coconut pastries erased any thought of the stranger. Sam wondered how many sweets he could buy with $4. Sam noticed a tray full of New Year's cookies. They were shaped like fish, with pleated tails that looked like little toes. Sam couldn't help but think about the old man again. Sam decided he wasn't hungry after all. Suddenly, he heard a noise from outside that sounded like 1,000 leaves rustling. He ran to the window to see what was happening.
Bundles of firecrackers were exploding in the street. Rounding the corner was the festival lion. It came to a halt in front of a meat market and sniffed a giant leafy dollar that hung in the doorway, along with a bouquet of lettuce leaves. "Take the food, take the money, bring us good luck for the new year," Sam shouted along with the others. With a sudden lunge, the lion devoured the dollar all in an eye blink and continued down the street.
That was a hungry lion, Sam's mother joked. Now he felt hungry too, and he wanted to go back to the bakery. But just then, a large grand opening sign caught Sam's eye. A new toy store. Just the place to spend his lucky money. A basketball was the perfect way to spend his lucky money. But when he saw the price tag, he got angry.
"I only have $4. I can't buy this." In fact, everything he touched cost more than that. "What is $4 good for?" he complained, stamping his feet.
His mother scrunched up her eyes, the way she always did when she scolded him, and guided him out the door. "Sam, when someone gives you something, you should appreciate it," his mother said as she marched him along. Sam stuffed his leases back in his pockets. The sun had disappeared behind some clouds, and he was starting to feel the chill.
Suddenly, Sam saw a pair of bare feet and instantly recognized them. They belonged to the old man he had seen earlier. The man also remembered him and smiled. Sam froze in his steps, staring at the man's feet.
His mother kept walking. When she turned back to check on Sam, she noticed the old man. "Oh," she said, "sorry, I only have a quarter." The man bowed his head several times in thanks.
"He acts like it's $1 million, Sam thought, shaking his head. As they started to walk away, Sam looked down at his own feet, warm and dry in his boots. Suddenly, he stopped. "Can I really do anything I want with my lucky money?"
"Yes, of course." Sam pulled his leases from his pocket. He ran back and thrust his lucky money into the surprised man's hands.
"You can't buy shoes with this, but I know you can buy some socks." The stranger laughed, and so did Sam's mother.
Sam walked back to his mother, took her warm hand. She smiled and gave a gentle squeeze. And as they headed home for more New Year's celebration, Sam knew that he was the lucky one.
So ends the story. But we have for all of you lucky envelopes with $4 in them. But hold on, there's more. Just like Sam, right? Just like Sam. But when you go to your classes, we're going to be here in Unity Hall and in the online pews. We're going to be talking about generosity and giving and supporting the people and institutions that we love and that help others. And you are going to be hearing about 2 of those organizations when you go to your classes. So this is the deal we want to strike with all of you. There's $4 in these envelopes. You can keep 2 of those dollars for yourself and then do whatever you'd like to do with those $2. But then we're going to ask that you give 2 other dollars to one or the other of the organizations that we're going to be supporting. One is the Homeless Hospitality Center, and the other is Start Fresh. So you're going to learn about those organizations, and you can pick which one you want to support with your money. And then the other $2 is for you to decide what to do with. You can just have fun or do whatever you'd like with that, okay? All right, so Perry's going to...
Probably can't buy a basketball.
No, you probably can't buy a basketball, but you could do something else fun with that. I'm sorry? Dollar Tree, says Teddy. That's right. That's right. That's right. Say thank you. You're welcome. Here, Jojo. You're welcome. Here, Madeline. Yeah. Victoria. Here, Bronwyn. There, Rosalia. Here, Rashid. Nora, come on up. Yeah, Bridget, come on over. Yeah. Here, Grayson. There you go. Come on up. Here's Sierra. And Posey. Here's for you. Hey, youth in the back, the very cool youth in the back. Come on, Gray, come on up. All right. So happy Lunar New Year to all of you. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. You're welcome, Jojo. And we're going to sing as you go to your classes. All right? Here we go. fun. I know I say this frequently, but I love the sound of their voices kind of fading down the hall. Such a happy sound. Such a happy sound. Now, I have to, Jesse, this happened while you were away. For some reason, my chat is disabled. Like YouTube is saying to me, we've disabled your chat. I don't know why it's doing that. But I wonder if in the meantime, you can look at my computer. Sure. Welcome to our world. I know. And hopefully by the time we get to that point, online folks, that will be resolved. And so each week we pause intentionally with great intention to bear witness to each other's lives, the joy and the sorrow that we move through equally. And this Sunday is no exception. Those of you who are in the online pews, you can type your joy or sorrow into the chat, and then we will share it here in Unity Hall. We will share what has been offered in the book and through beloved community at alldSouls.net. And in the meantime, you are invited, as you are so moved, to come forward and to light a candle of intention. And so we open this circle and this time for the creation and sustaining of beloved community. we prepare for what has been shared first in the book. Anna Sussler, who is such a devoted soul and here every Sunday, she is, in fact, a patient at Bacchus Hospital now and would appreciate thoughts and prayers from all of us, says Liz Avalos. Paula Nowakowski sends her greetings to all. She is bedridden and appreciates cards. So we will make sure to get Paula's address in the weekly news this week. And let's just send her an avalanche of love this week, okay? Rosemary Staropoli is filled with joy that her 9-week-old granddaughter, Autumn, is doing so well. She says, there are no words. I always say there are always words. Thank goodness, right? That little baby had a hard start to life. So bless her heart and her family who has been struggling alongside with her. I know, Rosemary. All right. There was one that came through beloved community. So I'm just going to pull this up very quickly. Sorry about this. All right, I believe this was from Lisa and Michael Ritz. The two of you are here. Am I right in remembering that? You're quiet, though. Okay, yes, Lisa and Michael Ritz would like to lift up their dear young cousin, Amanda Lord, who underwent very serious cancer surgery last Tuesday. And Lisa and Michael ask that we remember her in our thoughts and prayers this morning. Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, Jesse, thanks for fixing this. And let us see what the folks in the online pews would like us to know. David Burnside is coming to terms with how confused his very smart mother is getting about her health issues and medications, etc. Yeah. We understand that, David. Dan Hawkins says, hold on, let's see. Jesse says that in light of his recent travels, he would like to share his joy in the freedom of movement to which he is privileged and his concern for migrants worldwide who are denied that freedom. Thank you, Jesse, and welcome home. Hope Stevens says, Gang Hee Fa Choi, Happy New Year, Year of the Rabbit. A major cold has kept her from being with us this morning. We hope you recover quickly, Hope. Sandy Cohn asks for prayers for the Benoit family who lost multiple members of the family. And all I can imagine is, as Sandy says, some tragic accident. We're sorry, Sandy. We'll be thinking of them. Tracy Doobie reports that Jeff, her partner, was released from the hospital after the infection, and we shared this last week, in his hip replacement. He's back to the hospital for 2 days as they try to narrow down the infection and his treatment. Now he is home. It's been a bumpy road. My goodness, it certainly has been a bumpy road. We hope that gets very smooth very soon. George Fargo from Maine, coming in from Maine, is sorry that he's going to miss me next Sunday when he's here, but all of you will have the joy of seeing George Fargo. Hooray, that's wonderful. We can't wait to see you, George. Excellent. And Catherine Aaron, our choir director, is in the online pews. Catherine, we're so happy. She's grateful to celebrate the impending birth of our baby with the choir. Their good intention and prayers have held us in safety. The choir threw Catherine the most beautiful baby shower on Thursday night. So thank you to everybody who made that happen. That was a real a real model of All Souls warmth and care. Thank you for that. All right, let us enter into a communion of prayer and meditation that will be followed by silence, and then we will sing. Generous Spirit of life and of love, the holy all. We gather so grateful for the sanctuary that is this community, for the tradition that holds us, the one that says all are saved, all are well, and we are all connected to one another. We give thanks that we may walk a path of universal love and care and shine that light in a world that badly needs more love, and more love. We hold in our hearts all of those who are ailing, who are struggling in one way or another, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, that they may find in this hour respite. And for those who come with hearts bursting with joy, may it be multiplied. May we all feel the effect of that joy. We give thanks for this day, for all that this day may bring, for all that is held in the sanctuary of our hearts. We give thanks and say, Amen. I invite you to join your voices in singing, What Wondrous Love Is This?
This morning's reading is Caution, Church Ahead by Victoria Safford from the Abundance of Our Faith, award-winning sermons on giving. Terry Sweetster, editor. A newish congregant once said to a Unitarian Universalist minister, "But you don't really ask for anything. You don't ask for dues, you don't ask for a tithe, you don't ask for money a lot, you don't make us feel guilty." And the response is, "But friends, we ask each of you to be each other's shelter, to be each other's sanctuary. We're asking a great deal of you. We ask that you weave here together some kind of sturdy, gorgeous web, because without that among you, the building doesn't stand. There's no sanctuary here that is not made of your flesh and bone and love and will. The building will not stand, the ministry will not stand, the staff fall down, the lights go out. Religious education shuts down, and the kids are on their own in the wild world. The thing won't work. So yes, we ask you to fund it. We ask you every year for a financial pledge, and because we are you, we can be neither apologetic, nor coy, nor subtle about this."
I love the way you read that, Susan. It's very, very sweet. And because we are you, we can be neither apologetic, nor coy, nor subtle about this. This morning, you are being asked to give of your treasure and financially support All Souls. And I'm not going to be coy or subtle about it. This sermon is about what happens when together we put our money together as a community, together being the key word and the word I'm going to be emphasizing. And I'm going to start with a story about another Unitarian Universalist congregation, the church that I attended when I lived in New York City, the Fourth Universalist Society. Some of you have heard this story, but like all good stories, this one bears repeating, especially on Stewardship Sunday, which is the Sunday I first told this story many years ago. Fourth Universalist was at the time a small congregation of about 125 members, and there was always in the air we breathed a downtrodden sense of resignation because we couldn't seem to get out of our own way. And still, I loved this church. I loved it so much. And every Sunday, I'd make my way to the corner of 76th and Central Park West. One of those Sunday mornings in 1995, my life was changed. During the sharing of joy and sorrow, Lynn Clark, a congregational leader and a real spitfire, she stood before the congregation with fire in her eyes. She just returned from China, where a friend of hers had adopted a baby girl. And Lynn said that when they went to the orphanage where the baby had been cared for, she noticed several other girls, 2 and 3 years old, toddlers, playing on playground outside, and she inquired after them. And to the question, will they be adopted, came the dismissive answer, oh no, they're too old, with the implied, no one wants them. Lynn would have none of it. She stood before that congregation with 5 photographs held high, and she said, I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're old or young or rich or poor or gay or straight. If you can offer a home to one of these girls, come and see me after the service. And a lightning bolt goes through me, and I think, oh, this is what Kate and I should do. Lynn and I get together a few days later to discuss the idea, and early in the conversation, I ask her what it will cost to adopt one of the little girls, and she tells me between $10,000 and $12,000. This tells you how long ago this was. And out of hand, I drop all hope that one of these girls might be our daughter, because we don't have that kind of money, and I tell Lynn so. But I share her passion to find these girls homes, and so I tell her I make a commitment to do all that I can to help her find adoptive parents. And Lynn says that she understands, and we part. The next day, Kate and I leave town for a week to go see our family in California. And when we return, our answering machine is wildly blinking. Remember that? Lynn has called many times, leaving versions of the same messages, basically saying, hey, I'm calling to see if you two are on board. Things are moving fast, call me. And I'm bewildered because I know I left her apartment a week earlier, clear that Kate and I were out. And so I call her back and I say, Lynn, I told you we can't afford this. And she interrupts me. She says, we've gotten a large donation. It's not enough, she said, but it's a start. We're going to raise the money. And it turns out that Joan, one of the church matriarchs, had asked to meet with Lynn. This is kind of funny. Lynn had said, I don't care if you're young or old, but Joan was 83 at the time. And when she asked Lynn, Lynn was like, did I mean that? Did I mean that? But she met with Joan, and the two of them sat down together just a few days after Lynn and I had sat down together, and unsolicited, Joan pulled out her checkbook and wrote a check for $10,000 and said, my college has gotten enough money from me. And so it began. 4 more individuals came forward to adopt the girls, another member of the congregation, and 3 others who were friends of congregants. And for weeks, with crowns on their heads, Anne and Catherine and Deborah, they mill around during coffee hours soliciting donations to defray adoption costs. We find a social worker who said she would do the home studies for a reduced rate. And finally, $25,000 is raised. And each family receives $5,000 to travel to China to adopt these 2 old little girls. And Kate and I managed to save the rest of what we need. And 1 year later, on May 9th, 1996, we are boarding a plane to China to pick up our 3-year-old daughter, who we will name Lillian, and who many of you know as Lily June. So this photo was taken the first day of our life together, about 15 minutes after we walked back into our hotel room. Could you just bite her? You could just bite her. She's grown up now. Our girl. Living her best life about 10 blocks from that church that made her life here possible. That congregation learned something about themselves and all that we were capable of accomplishing together. We learned something about being faithful to our mission as we pursued a common goal. We grew stronger as a congregation, and 5 families were made complete with the addition of these beautiful, beautiful children. And it all began when one matriarch put her money down. Unsolicited. She understood that the gesture would provide inspiration and confidence to the rest of us, that together we could do this. And we did. And I'll tell you another story about another congregation. This one. Once upon a time, All Souls lived in an old, beautiful building that our ancestors dedicated in 1910, right up the hill. You can see it at the top of our window. 3 generations later, in March of 2007, faithful Unitarian Universalists dedicated a new building, this one, beginning a new chapter. And it was another matriarch who was the first to write a check to assure that the dream became a reality. Right, Claire? Jean Hayner, of blessed memory. She wrote a check for $25,000, unsolicited. She knew it was coming. But she knew that if we had one big donation, it would give others confidence, inspiration that we could do this. And again, this congregation learned that we are capable of accomplishing great things when, with confidence and great hope, we put our money together. The story of purchasing our house of hope next door back in 2015 is a similar and inspiring story. So is every story of financial support you offer to each other quietly and often confidentially when you know that a soul in our midst needs money. It is like, I've said this before, a never-ending secret Santa, but the currency is much needed cash. Cash that alleviates anxiety. Cash that reminds the receiver that they are not alone and someone in their midst sees them. Cash that inspires hope that the hard time will be endured. And please hear me say this. We need everyone to financially support our goal this year in all of these magnificent ways. All who attend and participate are considered part of this effort. You are all the souls that make all souls what we are together. And our goal this year, more than anything, is to reach 100% participation. It doesn't matter what you can give. What matters is that you participate. You may not be the matriarch to make a $10,000 or a $25,000 gift, and that's okay. And it's okay if you are. Kyle, I love that laugh so much. I love that laugh so much. When I say that every contribution is important, I mean that so sincerely. It means that it's not a heavy, heavy lift for the people who do participate. You are putting your money together with other people's money, and together we are more powerful. I give to All Souls because I believe that by doing so, my money becomes the currency of hope. And I'll put my money down and take a deep breath. I'm going to tell you how much I give, and I know that makes some of you nuts, but I'm going to tell you. I put down my $4,400 as a currency of hope, and I will do that any day. I'm inviting you to give joyfully, knowing that it's for all of what we do and for all of us, all together now. And I know the economy is scary right now. I know that inflation is through the roof. Give until it helps. Don't bankrupt yourself. No one's asking you to tithe. We're asking you to participate. As you all know, because you read the weekly news faithfully, because you've heard me talk about it here on numerous Sunday mornings since the fall, today is my last day before a 4-month sabbatical begins. I dare you to write in the chat, "This is the first I've heard about this." I dare you. You all someone here may be thinking about it, but don't write it in the chat. I don't want to see it. I'm on my way. I will miss you all, but you can hear I'm a little edgy now. I need the break. I will miss All Souls. I will be grateful every day of these 4 months for your generosity in making this sabbatical possible. Reverend Tricia Brennan was here on Thursday all day and met with All Souls staff, 32 souls who attended Elder Journey. It was so wonderful to see so many people. And then she was here for the board meeting. She's going to offer you a beautiful style of ministry, different from me, different from Caitlin, different. And I think you're really going to enjoy that shift and getting to know a new minister. Leaders received encouraging news from the construction company we're working with on our building renovation. You'll hear about that soon and later. As you'll soon hear, the stewardship campaign we're kicking off today is already off to an encouraging and wonderful start. Attendance on Sunday mornings is at pre-pandemic levels between in-person and online. And so I trust you'll keep that up in the 4 months to come. In short, all is well. All is well. We're so fortunate. We are so fortunate. And we work really hard. It doesn't just happen, right? And so my love and blessings and gratitude to all of you as you begin these 4 months. I will, as I said, I will miss you. I love you all. Deep blessings. Amen. Let us enter into a spirit of quiet contemplation as we imagine generosity in community. Amen. I am going to invite Janet Beebe, our board treasurer, and Susan Borgi forward. They're going to tell you a little bit about the stewardship campaign this year. Years ago, you all said, cut the bells and whistles, just tell us what you need and how we're going forward. So we've followed that instruction the years since. And so you're just going to, this is the bottom line that these two hardworking souls are going to share with you. Welcome.
I don't know what more I can add after her sermon, but so yeah, I'm Susan Borgi. I'm the chair of the Stewardship Committee, and I do not work in a vacuum or alone. So I just want to have the committee stand up. Who's here? I see Glenn. I see Mary. I see Michael. Danny.
Stand up.
John was already standing, and is Bruce here? Okay, well, this is your stewardship committee. If you have questions, you can speak to them as well as myself. And I'm here to talk about the pledge drive. I don't like talking about money. Nobody likes talking about money. But I've been involved in a number of faith communities over the year, and I've really seen the difference that, a strong, vibrant community that can be made through our pledge donations. And I'll just give you a little bit of my story, which is that, I was raised in a relatively well-off Unitarian church up in Massachusetts, and they had very active youth group. They had camperships, and I went to Ferry Beach on camperships every summer, and it was wonderful. And then I moved to Connecticut, and I went to a non-Unitarian church, and they used to fix the windows with Scotch tape. And it was very different. The youth group did not have that feel. It didn't have that vibe because they didn't have the funds to support a pizza on a Sunday night, right? And it was those years in my growing up of eating pizza with a bunch of other teens who were asking those same, big picture questions and questing on their own faith journey, and sitting on a beach in Maine and talking to other kids who thought the way I thought and were asking the same questions. And that really cemented my faith structure and my commitment to the principles of Unitarian Universalism. And it's why I'm up here, willing to overcome this, not wanting to speak about money. So I'm not trying to say we need to have camperships, but I'm saying that what we do and the funds we provide to keep our vibrant church community going, it has ripple effects, and we don't always see them, but until you look back over the years at the outcome. So this all has costs, and I want to ask Janet to say a few words as our treasurer. And can we go to the next slide? Yep.
Thank you. Hi. For those of you who don't know me or haven't met yet, I'm Janet Beebe, your treasurer. So I started working on the next year's budget, 2023-24, in October. And I have consulted with the committee chairs, with our bookkeeper, Her name is Rhea. The Finance Committee, Perry and Reverend Carolyn. I have come up with a draft, and during that process, my aim was to create an achievable budget that incorporates the congregation's expressed priorities and goals. Stewardship has done some research on how our pledges are used and created this wonderful chart. You can see how your pledge is used for pastoral care, faith formation, social justice, and worship. It takes committees, utilities, insurance, administration, salaries, and benefits to make that happen. A 10% increase in total pledges is needed to support our expenses and congregational goals. Now, Susan and I have been members of All Souls since December of 2019. All Souls has become our community and a place for us to be with people who think like us and accept us for who we are. It is also a place for us to help make a difference in the world. We enjoy coming to Sunday service. The sermons and the music is very uplifting, and now we can't imagine our lives without All Souls. Please help to support All Souls, the goals, the mission, and please, 100% of pledges. Know that whatever you pledge, it is valued and it is greatly appreciated. Thank you.
So, along with this pie chart, you may have seen over the fall, we had members of the Stewardship Committee come up and talk about how our pledges go towards supporting our 7 UU principles. And they spoke about how our community here at All Souls benefits from having highly qualified and dedicated staff, how we commit to provide those salaries at a living wage and recognize their value. And we benefit from having a Sunday, a location to come on Sundays and to worship, and to, over the pandemic, to build out our technology to be able to have our virtual pews. I see you. Hi there. And so many other things that make our community vibrant. And, you know, and listening to Carolyn this morning, and it is the anniversary of Roe v. Wade, you know, I give money to Planned Parenthood as well. And my little drop in the bucket to Planned Parenthood, I know it helps. But my money that I give to All Souls, I see what it does. And it's so satisfying to me because I see it, and it goes really to me too, because I'm able to come here on Sunday morning and commune with people who are also asking those same big questions still, 58 years later, on my faith journey. So you'll be getting your letter soon, either in the mail or on email, for asking you for your financial commitment. And, you know, as we've drilled into your head, by giving you, spread that ripple of hope into the world that our actions take. The only other thing I wanted to add is that, you know, we are off to a good start. We asked the leadership of All Souls to pledge early. We need roughly a little over $400,000 a year to keep the lights on and keep doing everything that we as a congregation have told leadership we want to be doing. Through these early pledgings, we're at about $113,000, so we're about a quarter of the way there. Yay. And it really all adds up. You know, there's a wide range of pledges, and so each piece, I attended a Christian church for a while, and they always did that sermon of the widow and her small coin, right? And those little coins add up to keep the lights on and pay for great salary who keep us together and keep us thinking in between. So the deadline, can I have the next slide, just to drive it on home? So our celebration Sunday, where we're going to have hit 100% of our goal, is Sunday, March 5th. So to do that, we need your pledges back in by Friday, March 3rd. And I hope to come up here again and tell you how wonderful we did. So thank you.
So that, Janet and Susan, thank you both so much. And thank you to the Finance Committee, the Stewardship Committee, and the board. 100% participation already. Those are the folks who pledged ahead of time. So I hope that number, that incredible number, gives you the confidence and inspiration that you need. I am usually the one throughout the season of stewardship who stands up here on Sundays and begs you and cajoles you and maybe shames you just a tiny little bit into getting your pledges in on time so that these good folks, your friends here at All Souls, don't have to chase you down. I'm not going to be here for the next couple of weeks, but I hope you will hear my pleasant voice in the back of your mind saying Friday, March 3rd. So that Danny and Mary and Glenn and Susan and John and Bruce is in the online pews, we see you, Bruce, aren't calling you and trying to chase you down just to get this information from you. So as soon as you get your information in the mail, or if you are pledging online, do it right away. And then they will be so grateful, and I will be too when I get back. And I think that's everything. If you have questions, you can ask Susan or anyone else who's here. Just to remind, the budget hearing for the final budget happens right before the annual meeting. That will happen in April. The budget hearings will be in May, and the annual meeting is in June, first Sunday of June. Okay? So this will help us figure out how to tune and tweak that budget that Janet has been working on since October. And I think that's everything. That's as bells and whistles and balloons as we're going to get this year for this annual campaign. There is cake. And I think that Karen will tell you about that in a moment. Right now we will take our, it's so late. Should we do this at the door? Let's do this at the door. So the offering, this is how we're going to do the offering. John and Mark and Lynn and who else is doing? Karen will be at the door on your way out. Throw your offering in their baskets. In the meantime, are you saying something, Karen? Are you motioning to me? All right, come on up. After the postlude. Let's just go straight to the postlude. I'm losing my balance here. Yes, postlude. Yeah, hit it, Bill. Let's go. Yeah. Wait, we're skipping lots of things, though. We've got it. Wait. Let's take a breath. All right. First, we have to sing our closing hymn. All right, sit back down. Here we go. All right, I invite you to rise in body and or in spirit, and we will sing our closing hymn. Chalice. Susan will do so, and we will say together, our service has ended, but our work is not yet done. May our spirits be renewed and our purpose resolved as we meet the challenges of the week. Our chalice flame is extinguished until once again ignited by the strength of our communion. I invite you to reach out to the wider community, whether you are here or in the online pews, to ever remember our reach goes far. And so go into these 4 months knowing that everything's going to be all right, that you have the power to join your energy and your joy and your love with other people's joy and energy and love and money, and to make a difference here and in the world beyond these walls. Go in peace, go with my love, and return again every Sunday for 4 months until we meet again. Amen. Amen. I invite you to be seated. I invite you to be seated. Bill.
Postlude song for today. Don't worry about a thing. Well, Carolyn, come on, please come up. So I'm Karen Ethia-Waring, president of the board, and behind me is Sally McGee, who is our vice president, and Katrina, our intrepid secretary and head of the building team, and you've met Janet just a couple of minutes ago. Now, we can't let Carolyn go off without some kind of,
Cake.
Without cake. There is cake, and the cake says, "Ciao, Bella Carolyn." And we say ciao because she's going to be traveling, but also ciao because in Italian it means goodbye, but it also means hello, and we can't wait to say ciao, come on back very soon, but not yet. So we have a few things to help her. First of all, some lovely tulips to bring spring through her winter, right? Sunshine through her sabbatical. And some books on travel in Italy, including an Italian phrase book. And in the back, actually, my favorite places to go.
Thank you. Oh, isn't that great?
Just a few little things. And then Janet has probably the most important little piece that we're giving her, which is Thich Nhat Hanh's How to Relax. And then words of love and a little bit to help you on your way as you celebrate from the congregation and board. Thank you so much, Carolyn. We are so grateful for your fire and your commitment, your over 20 years with us, and we will be here doing our thing, and we'll be happy to celebrate you when you come back as well.
I think I get to say, let us eat cake. But wait a minute, there are just a couple announcements. Next week, Reverend Mark Roble, member of this congregation who we co-ordained, he will be preaching, and Karen will be the worship leader. Reverend Tricia is starting the week that follows. The third session in Exploring All Souls is going to happen in about, Lynn, like 15 minutes? Is that okay? 15 minutes? So grab a cup of coffee and a piece of cake and then head down. Same room that we were in last week. And I think that is everything. I think that's everything. Go in peace.
Thank you, Eric. See you Thursday. Yes.